we are in the hills of St. Anne on my friend's farm, and we're going to look at some animals. I would have brought some medications, some tagging tools and so forth that I used to use on my farm, but I've handed down to him because he's quite interested. And as you can see behind me, he has the land and he has the spacing to do animals. So he will be focusing on a grazing system. But as you can see here in my background, we have some regular grass, we have Bakira, we have napier grass as we call it, and you will also be having my shaft cutter, and you will be doing some shafting. In the future, I'm thinking about also growing corn. I'm introducing him to silage, but let's see how that goes. If we look on this side, he has gotten this hog wire and he's using it to fence, to pasture out his area. So he has fence about, let's say, an acre of land. I am telling him also to depend based on the size of his farm and his vision. We want to break the acres into probably quarters so that he can do pasture rotation, and that will be best for the animals to manage the worming aspect of them, you know, because he wants to do the animals from a natural perspective. So let's dive into it. We're gonna go look at the animals. He has some of my past animals, but he has gotten some other native animals. And we're just gonna break down, showing him how to check for Marcher score. We're gonna look at some hoof at the animals. We're just gonna overall check on these animals for him. So we want to walk you through that process so you can get an understanding of goat farming and have a better appreciation of what it brings. So come on with us, let's go. So as you can see, he has a lot of grass. Look, he has a lot of space. He has a lot of space, and as you can see, he has growing steak. Here he has a Bacida tree, excellent protein. He has a lot of waterman about. He has a lot of trumpet, if you can see, and trumpet is good for animals who would have just had kids. It's a good form of cleanser, the trumpet. So we're just gonna go through a whole lot of stuff with him so that he can maximize on his farm. So here he has used what we call a chain link fence to do the parting of this pasture, and he has another pasture here that he's doing some cleaning. He'll be building goat houses. I will walk him through that build. I have built goat houses for myself, but I pulled them down because I stated I transitioned from goat farming, and we'll talk about that in another video. But let's break it down, and I will tell him also about how to feed these animals that can come onto the grass, because we're seeing here where some of the grass is grown out, so we don't have much protein or much nutrients in these grasses. But nonetheless, he has also decided to use bag feeds, so we're going to teach him how to blend the feeds and all of that as he goes through this period of goat farming. Look at them, wonderful animals, wonderful animals. So this is one of my past girls, lovely udder. She's very close to having kid. Look at these animals, they are nice, they are well fed, and they are in the pasture going about. Here's one other past girl, she's also in kid. So we're having, here's another one of my past young kids hiding right there in the bush. So I'm definitely passing on what I've learned with him, and these animals have the space. The animals have the space. They have the shrubs. They have the whisk. They have everything in this area for him to run a proper goat farm. This area he has used a chain link fence, and he has used a barbed wire, taking the advice to use a growing stake as the fence post. So once he's growing stake, he realized he has cut them as posts, but they start growing now. So when the time comes, he can just chop these down and the animals feed on them. And if he wants to shaft them, he can go about shafting these as well. Now look at my girls. This is my ex-girl. This is my other ex-girl here. It's a nice heavy in kid here. She they going about. See a nice ram here. If you look on the farm, my friend is really putting in the work when it comes down to these animals. I'm giving him the heads up in terms of how to use the rams on his farm, and he's making those adjustments. So as you can see, he has a lot of shrubs, he has grass, he has basida, he has guango right here growing. He had a few guango trees, but he had got rid of some of them. But he has all this area out here to prepare in pastures as he's doing now. Where I see waterman over there. I see, as I said, I see basida, I see the trumpet. So there's a lot, and he has a lot of space. And he will do well once he apply these principles. If you look on the animals are shine and pretty good. So I'm gonna check some of these animals for Marcha score. The challenge is that these animals are out in pasture. So it's going to be a challenge to catch them. And I won't call his name because of security reasons, and he is putting in a lot of systems in place. Cameras are here. We have other security that we don't want it to. You know, see one of past girls there. So he's doing well. He's definitely doing well. It is almost time for him to move these animals out of this pasture now. So I'm gonna look at some Famacha score, look at some hoof, and probably do some hoof trimming for him. Show him how to do the hoof trimming, how to check the Famacha score. I have also carried a worming chart for him. Here's my past boar girl. I got this boar off Shervin's farm. It's my past girl right here. Nice animal. She had 2 kids. Just to see him, he never allowed. He has a native animal who jumped this kid. So I told him that he's really kind of wasting the animal, but he wants to do crossbreeding, so I allow him to. But for me, I would cross the boar with another boar or probably a Nubian. But he's growing his farm, as you can see, and if you look around, a lot of space. We have Army Star grass right here. We have Bakira in the midst of it, just the same. So he has a lot of grass. He has waterman over there. He has, and I'm so proud of this farm. And as he continues to grow, I will continue to guide him and continue to keep you up to date. And one day you probably will meet him along the farm. So let's get into it. So here you can see this girl climbing the fence just to get the shrubs. I always tell a person that goats really love the shrubs more than the grass, and they love the whisk more than the grass. So that's why I had fences placed firm enough to withstand the weight of the animals to where he's going. So you can see he has the weight there, as a June plum tree there, a lot of young June plums. He has pear, he has a whole lot of stuff. So you look at these animals, they are in good care, going on very well. Very, very well. I remember this mother, even though she's native, a good mother, she always drop 3 kids whenever she drops. And look how the animals are pretty, man. Very pretty animals. Very pretty animals. So I remember I went on a woos training. So woos would have given me this pack when I went to a training in Brownstown. They would have given me a drencher. This is a chart that I'm telling you about. So this is a worming chart, and it goes with the dosage, whether by pound or by kilogram. It goes for injectables, and it goes for oral meds. You can see the chart is pretty straightforward, the chart, and you can know what to give your animals. I'm giving him some Benvet 10%. I think this is Sulfamed that he asked me about. Garvital, which has no withdrawal period, and some other meds. So we have the hoof trimmer. We're going to do some trimming today, as I said. And one of the main things that I always tell people to practice, the proper tagging of your animals. So here we have a tag machine, so you can use that. We have, I don't remember this measuring tool, but weight tape, yes. So here it is, the weight tape, heart girth method to know the possible live weight of the animal. So he has a lovely kit here, lovely kit to go with his farm right now. So we're gonna jump over and just look at some animals, do some trimming for him because he doesn't have a lot of stones on his farm, so the animals can walk and basically brush and the hoof be trimmed. So we're gonna do some trimming and let him understand how it goes, and then we take it from there. Very strong, relax boy, very strong on him buck, very defensive boy on the farm, a Mumblade native ram. So we're gonna do a Famacha score on this animal if we can. Very powerful and strong animal here. So for the Famacha score, we push up. So you see on this animal, in his eyes pretty white. So there's a level of worming that needs something. I have a picture somewhere. I'm going to see if I can find to add it to this video. So we can show you what the color should look like. But this animal needs a little worming. See it? It should be a pretty pink. So he needs a little bit of wormer. Let me have a look at his hoofs. Hey boy. A powerful animal, man. Powerful. So let me so this is what we look for. The excess on your hoofs. This is the excess. So you really need some trimming off. So you can mount properly. So even if you don't shave your female's hoof often, see the males, this will help with their mounting. So you have to help them to have their hoofs as flat as possible. You know, so over the years this animal has not had any hoof treatment. So you see where basically becomes hard. So I will show him how to treat with it, especially the younger animals as they grow. So as you can see, this is due to years of not being trimmed. So still not in a bad condition because it has hardened over the years. But even these areas, you can zoom in on these areas, I always have to look on them and just keep the animal in tip-top shape. Now come over this side. So this here, you see the excess. These are some of the things you want to remove. When you have animals pasture, it's kind of challenging. So you hope that them brush them foot against stones and so forth to keep their hoofs going properly. But Smale is not in such a bad shape to be out. Probably the first time a hoof trimmer ever touch him foot. First time. Alright? And look at his back foot. So as you can see, first time, see? Out of shape. Not good for this animal. Not good. See it? Very tough, hardened over the years of not doing. See? Very hard stuff. So and so throughout the years, see it? Animal has not had any hoof treatment. Right? I have hoof rot, that's a real disease that can affect animals. You want to? When the rain period comes, they come out in the pasture. Right? So you can see a whole lot of treatment needed on this animal's foot, hoof. But still looking at it, this one is not so bad. So these are the little things my young goat farmer friend has to look forward for or to do. And as he gets his farm hands on deck, he has to teach them these little things. So that especially your young animals, and when you move to the slatted floors, you're going to have to do this more often than ever. So rams, we don't really trouble their tails. Hey boy, very defensive animal. I like that's how animals are to be. Very defensive, very aggressive when it comes down to breeding. So you see where I'm going to advise him to elevate his feet shaft elevate his features so they don't feed off the ground. So, my friend, you're going to make up an area where you're going to elevate the troughs. So that because you don't want them to walk, you feed them from here, feces, they walk in, then them eat from the feces. So you're going to elevate these troughs. He has a salt block. I'd advise him to get free choice mineral. There's no withdrawal period for free choice minerals, but he has a salt block for now. So he's going to elevate this and hope the next time I visit his farm, he will elevate these so that the animals don't basically eat from them feces. Because you want healthy animals, this will help with the worm control with the animals. Look at these females. So, do you see that? Very white. All these animals need some worming. All of them. As they're coming off, he's buying animals now. So they are coming off of farms where possibly the farmers don't have that control or that thought process. Let me look at these hoofs as well. Come look at miss. Alright. So her hoofs are not so bad. Her hoofs are not so bad, but it's just through maintenance over and over. Boy here want get him work done. So that's it. But in terms of that, the girls look good. The kids are pretty okay. So you see now to do the Famacha score. So you can know. Oh. I go for my ex-girl. She remember me. She around. I'd name her Comfort. First animal I buck up on that love Comfort, so I'd name her Comfort. It's doing well. Perfect, man. So this is a nice Famacha score. Not so bad. Little worming needed, but she's not so bad. Come here, girl. Don't run up and down. You used to trimming on your foot, so no bother with it. Ah, we always put them in a little noose or something like that. We can hold them to trim them. So she was used to getting trim sometimes every 3 weeks, but she out in the wild now. She coming from a slatted floor. She's now in a pasture like settings. She's not doing bad. Proud to see the animals that he has adopted from me and the care that they are getting. And he's a growing goat farmer. So look out for him. Might see him at Denby one of these years. Showcasing animals, you know. So if you are interested in the goat farming and he doesn't want to go full hybrid, but I tell him that he can crossbreed. So he has that strength when it comes down to the native and the growth rate. These are some of the things that I explained to him, and he's seen it for himself when he makes a comparison with kids that came from the higher bred animals that which he got from me, and then when the native, and he match the growth rate, and he's saying, boy, animals growing quicker, but he still love the native, but I still coaching him into going crossbreed when it comes down to these animals, so that he can get a better growth rate in a faster period of time. So lot of build up on the hoof area here. Lot of build up. But sometimes you have to be careful when you're doing these trimmings. And sometimes you do some cuts on the animals. Easy, girl. So here, see your back foot? Come zoom and let them see this. The back foot here. Now, poor condition here. Poor condition, but boy, move yourself. Hey,
Why you say me a beat the cutlass now?
Have to be careful when you're doing this, because you might sometimes cut the animal. You have to get some antibacterial spray to spray on it, or some Ectaline. You know, because sometimes you do go a little too deep. You have to be careful as you're doing these trimmings. Take your time cutting to see what's happening. What I find also is that as the animals age, their hoof tend to get a little harder. They don't have to do as much trimming when they become fully groomed. They don't grow as fast as a young animal. Oh, animal full of weight, man. You broke my toe. No, girl, they can't stand up on my foot. Heavy, man. Oh, so as you can see, this animal got a hoof rat. Ah, stand up, girl. A hoof rat issue. He has dealt with it to some level or to some extent, but come closer, let me show them what. Alright, lay down, girl. Lay down, girl. What not trimming a hoof for an animal who was used to trimming hoofs can do. So you realize that she got a little disease. He has done some cleaning and so forth, but it's a little tender because you see she pulling her legs. It's a little tender, so it still needs some healing. We're going to clean up this hoof and see if we can get her in the back to being on an okay level. But the hoof is still tender.
You want the wetland competition, so.
Very tender hoof. Want the scissors. This hoof has not finished healing as yet. So a whole lot of work needed. You see the flies, you don't want that. Or the fly breed worm.
The next one, the mum bread one, will come from you too.
Alright, let me the Ectaline spray. The Ectaline keeps the fly off because it has the silver coating to help the proper healing process of the animal. So as you can see, less than a year into the goat farming, and look at these animals, lovely animals. And as I always tell people, goats love Whisk and shrubs more than grass. But they're down there in the grass, and by the time he cut down these whisk, look at the animals, look at them. So he's not selling any animals now. But if you have good animals for sale, they can let him know. And we link up and see. We look at the animals and then we can do some regular purchasing. But lovely animals here. Lovely animals. Mix of native, a few hybrids. And this is one of the things we always talk about. And I'm encouraging him to do. As his kids are born, he makes a note which animal breeds them, so as he goes through his tagging, he will know which animal come from where, and as much tracking of these animals as possible I encourage him to do, because this is one of the things that is affecting the goat sector. Everybody claiming purebred, hybrid, or pure blood or full blood animals, and if you are to ask for the tracking, few farmers can provide this to you. I remember a farmer bought an animal in Top St. Ann. He said, alright, a good animal, and he went to St. Elizabeth and bought another animal. No tracking he got for these animals. He decided to say, okay, I want to do some breed. Or somehow he decided to ask the farmers some questions. And when he checked it out, both animals were brothers and sisters. They were purchased from the same farm, but they went to different areas. So this is one of the challenges that we're having in the goat sector, especially in Jamaica. Persons are making claims and not giving proper tracking. So the inbreeding of the animals is cutting the growth rate and cutting the quality animals that we should have. So these are farm management things that we need to put in place. I also encourage him to take the rams off his flock, because you have to control how you breed the animals. And if you have your ram roaming, you might have a kid, and then that same ram go ahead and jump his daughter. So these are some of the challenges that we face in the goat sector. And that is one of the things that I was remedying at the time, but as I stated, I transitioned from goat farming, and now I'm giving the advice as best as possible to who want to hear. And this is my farmer friend, and to who are on the channel right now. So do remember to like, subscribe, share, follow the page, so that you can be up to date as I post when it comes down to the farming aspect of my business. You know, I continue to post on both sides, the coaching, but this is the farming. So if you follow this page, it will only be farming and farm related items. So continue to look, and as we go through this farm for the remainder of the evening. Look at my goat, my sheep kid there. So a lot of my animals came here. I sold some of the animals other places, but he has a few of my animals and taking good care of them, and I'm proud to see the animals. Nothing good like when you have sold the animal to a farmer who kept that animal, and when you look back at the animal, you can say, yes, they actually took care of this animal better than I did. So let's continue to look at these animals as he's doing some cleaning, getting out some of these big trees out of this pasture. He has a lot of grass in those pastures over there, so that is where he has some wires now. He's fencing up that pasture to release those animals over there, let them eat that out, and let this pasture continue some regrowth. Alright, so we'll spend the remainder of the evening just going through my friend's farm. We have shown you what some of the things that he has been doing. He has some 6 feet chain link fence on that side. He has planted some growing stick, and we'll watch those grow. We're pushing to reach his aim is at least 100 mothers. So we'll help him along that process as we go along, and we continue to push. Farming in Jamaica is a great sector, very lucrative sector, especially if you have a great plan for it. You have the spacing like he does, and even if you don't have the space and you want to do slatted floors. I'm just sorry that I pulled out my pen, but I'm sure I can find some videos to show how I did my slatted floors, how I made my feeding troughs and the water system and all of that. I have those videos set aside, so I'm going to upload them so persons can see them. And you can always reach out on the page, and whatever answers I can give, I will give. And if I don't have the answers, I will definitely send you through to persons who probably can help you along. So until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow this page, and see you on the next video.